really close, but you can still pressure it. You still have a lot of different angles. It's just not. It's not a simple map. It's not a map where, like on Antigua, control the center. You control both of those bases. You get a lot of vision. That's really good. There's not really a single place on this map where you go, okay, if I control here, I've got it all taken care of.
Right.
And that, I think it's very interesting.
Well, you mentioned the destructible rocks. I want to get back to that first, but I got to put you on the spot again because it is the third map, final map here in this series. So why don't you introduce your teammates here?
In the bottom left-hand corner, he is the Titan, fighting for the third game in the Cloud Kingdom. He is Complexity's Hearts! And in the top right-hand corner, a blue Terran General who must be feeling damn good right about now, looking to take the third game, Complexity's Ganzi!
Beautifully done. We're going to get you a gig just doing that here at MLG, I promise you.
It sounds fun. Although I think can I get someone to massage my throat too?
Maybe so. That'll be the next step. We get you a PA to help you warm up your voice for this. We'll get you some honey. That's kind of the best thing to go to.
Ice cream?
Maybe ice cream.
Can I have ice cream?
Maybe so.
Yay!
So over here at these destructible rocks, I feel like Protoss has always complained that if a ramp is not force fieldable, that they can. That's their biggest. Force field needs to be there. So with these, you see, as I'm trying to think exactly, I believe Blizzard started doing this first.
Destructible rocks?
Well, using a bigger ramp like this, making it only one lane to be one force field, and then
I'm trying to think.
Entombed Valley, maybe was that?
Well, no, because Entombed is cutting off a passage.
Oh yeah.
I actually think this is the first map that I've seen this on, but I'm not sure if that's right.
It might be. And it opens things up. Daybreak actually has it. Down there at right outside the natural, going into
the yeah. But Daybreak was a GSL map.
Right.
So I think it's a GSL thing.
Might be a GSL thing. It's smart because there's ways that, like as a Zerg, if you're going to attack, you always want to take out destructible rocks against Protoss.
Yeah, definitely.
And I would say probably as a Terran, you always basically anytime you're going into attack Protoss, you want to take it out. It makes them use more energy on their sentries, and it really adds some map variety. So I actually. In all the uses that people have had for destructible rocks when it comes to map making, I think this might be one of the best.
Yeah, I think this is one of the only legitimate uses of destructible rocks.
I mean, there's only so many times you can block a base with high.
I am so tired of seeing destructible rocks preventing me from expanding. It just It's just left such a sour taste. Like, I thought Tal'Darim was a really cool and interesting map. Until they made the third base full and put destructible rocks on it. It's just whatever. Yeah. So anyways, in the game, Ganzi did go for a 15 gas, and so basically what this gives him is a slightly delayed tech, but a much faster command center. Oh, yeah. So he does scout a little bit, and let's just check their vision. Let's see what each player has seen. So Ganzi, this is Hart. He's seen the late gas. Not seen the expansion though, and then if we go to Ganzi's vision, Ganzi has just seen the barracks. Yeah, basically just the wall in. So both players mostly in the dark, but Ganzi's expansion. So Ganzi going for a fast expand into a second gas, getting the fast reactor and a factory. Expect to see a starport pretty soon here. And that starport will give him a little bit of extra defense against the Vikings or whatever it is. Meanwhile, Hart is going for the Banshee. Hart on double gas.
He's gonna go cloak right off the bat.
Yeah, absolutely, he's going cloak.
Yep, and there we see it. So, does Ganzi have an engineering bay? No. He's only on one orbital at this point in time, and he should have. Depending on if this mule hits, I think he might be probably 10 or 15 energy away by the time the Banshee does get cross maps. So,
so the Banshee, well,
or at least by cloak finishing.
Yeah, so cloak has about 80 seconds until it finishes, which is time to regenerate about 40 energy on that orbital, plus maybe another 30 seconds. So Ganzi's got about one extra. Basically, he'll have a mule to spend around when that Banshee gets here.
Right.
So depending on exactly how it works out, that scan, that's pretty important. Let's see what Ganzi saw with that.
Yeah. don't... Oh, it was just right out of vision here.
Yeah, so, but he does... Okay, so...
He sees double gas,
yeah,
though,
he
right?
does see double gas, and that is a huge tell. I would expect... There's the engineering bay coming up for Ganzi. The Viking is coming out. Ganzi getting that tech lab. Notice the starport's not building anything. I would guess he's going to grab a... Nope. Damn it.
Well, I mean, you can even see over here at the natural, he hasn't sent any SCVs.
Yep. He's rallying to his main. He expects... He might not know it's Cloak Banshee. Notice the Viking. It's checking to the west of his base. He's expecting a Banshee somewhere, and almost certainly there's going to be a Banshee when you scan that double gas, but he doesn't know where it's going to be, and he doesn't know what the follow-up is here. So now he does see the Banshee. Notice the Banshee not able to actually get any kills there, which is really nice for him. Scan goes down.
Oh, he saved a ton, yeah.
Yep.
And yeah.
Oh,
did he catch that with the bunker?
You know, I think he did.
Yeah.
I think he must have.
Check the kill count on those Marines when they unload, but that's kind of a tough break there.
Yeah, no, he was definitely relying. Look at the Vikings. Wait, go here.
Oh.
Yep. So Ganzi, again, doing a great job of zoning. He actually might try and go for this Banshee. If you get 2 scans in a row, you do a decent amount of damage with each one, you can definitely kill that Banshee. Otherwise, he's just going to drive it all the way back, and basically what that's going to do is drive down the energy on the Banshee and make it very hard to get the energy back so Hart can do damage with that cloak.
Right. And with this turret coming up, he doesn't really have to be fearful of those Banshees anytime soon.
Right.
Already sending his SCVs over, and with even more Vikings out on the map. So in a third match like this, where the best of 3 has already been won by Ganzi, but of course all the rounds matter here in this group, what does that do for the mindset of these two players? Will Ganzi really play a long, drawn-out game and not try to go for the kill move early on?
No, if I was Ganzi, absolutely not. Especially against Terran, you do not want to get in one of those big, long games. They're extremely draining mentally. And really, yeah, every game counts in this format, but winning matches is still more important. You don't want to put yourself in a position where it's going to make it harder for you to win those later matches.
Gotcha.
If I were Ganzi, I would definitely be looking for the kill as soon as possible. Maybe even taking a little bit of an extra risk to go for it, just because I do not, on a map like this, it's very easy to turtle up, it's very easy to go mech. I do not want to get in a 45-minute TVT stalemate.
Yeah, and we mentioned the fact that Xel'Naga towers for Terrans. This map, you could probably sit at your opponent's Xel'Naga, and there's not much that he could do, especially if you have Vikings patrolling this area, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see a lot of what's going on, but it's not very hard for you to control your own watchtower. It's very close to your base. And now, Ganzi knows, I don't know if Ganzi ever... Wait, let's go to Ganzi's vision. So Ganzi does not... He never scanned the production, but he knows, you see, pre-igniter Hellions, you got to be thinking your opponent's going mech.
Right.
And so I would expect... Notice Ganzi is adding on 2 more tech labs and a reactor. That's probably going to be for his barracks. And Hellions actually going in. This is going to be a good backstab.
What?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the mouse will. Mouse wheel's not enabled.
I just got confused. My brain stopped working.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. For something, I just felt like it zoomed in for a moment. I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
So Ganzi actually setting up a good position here. Notice the positioning of Hart's factories. If he can get a little bit closer, Ganzi can actually start to hammer away on those. Look in the main. We got a big drop going on, but it does get cleaned up by the Hellions. Ganzi doing a bit of damage here. As long as Ganzi has those Vikings there, he doesn't have too much trouble holding this position. But the Vikings are going to go down. He does get that Banshee, which is really important, actually.
Right.
So now he can't kill those 2 tanks for free. But he does clean up that attack without too much trouble. Hart at a very good advantage right now. If we go to the units lost tab, we see Hart favored a little bit there. Income tab right around even, despite Ganzi's much earlier expansion. And no real workers killed there. I think it's mostly just Ganzi was rallying to his main, and so he maybe was not getting quite the income he had wanted. And we do see Ganzi at a slight supply disadvantage right now.
Yep, 128 to 116. Hart thinking about going up and pushing on this Xel'Naga tower. Ganzi does control it, and we see Hart actually falling back somewhat. And at the moment, I mean, army size versus army size, Hart is definitely pretty far ahead. You can even just tell on the mini-map right here. He's trying to figure out exactly where he wants to engage his opponent. We have a spotter depot up here for Ganzi, so if he is kind of going this back path as well as a possible drop, and the Vikings, oh wow.
Wow, that is some very, I don't have any idea how Hart knew to look here. That is a crazy read there, and that was fantastic, actually.
I wonder if he caught a scan or something of the army and saw the medevac trailing off that way. That's the only thing I can really predict, because he sent his entire army that way to be able to deal with that, and he caught it off guard completely.
It could be actually something as silly as he forgot to hit that hotkey, and so he like moved his whole army over there, and then when he was moving his army away, those units didn't get pulled back. I'm not sure, but a very nice catch for him. Definitely reduces Ganzi's ability to move out. And now we see Hart in a very good position. Notice how Ganzi can't keep track of where his army is.
Right, right. He's constantly just moving the army here in the middle.
Right.
Is that basically to dodge scans? Oh, I think he gets the scan right on the money there.
You don't want to be
but his army's out of position, QXC.
But this is not good. He can't push up. Notice how Ganzi's siege tanks can just barely cover that opening. There's no way for Hart to go up in that area. And so what Hart wants to do now, he might do a little Hellion drop. That would be nice. But he is reducing Ganzi's options significantly. And now they're both checking, making sure, seeing if the other person has moved.
Oh, wow. There was, did he catch another drop off guard? I guess Ganzi pulled it back last minute, but Hart was ready for it. His Viking count is getting quite insane.
Yeah, and this is really important when you're being this aggressive with mech. If you lose your Vikings, then your army, you don't have good vision, you can't check the high ground, and your opponent can start dropping on top of you with medevacs, which is a really good way to dismantle his mech army. So Ganzi, a little bit out of position, should not be attacking into this. It's way too many siege tanks. The Vikings overextending. Looks like he's...
The Marine count's not even that... well, there's some here, but he can take those out with the Bluefin Hellion.
Yeah,
now he's going to be chasing Ganzi back.
The Marines aren't really important here as much as the Marauders. The Marauders are going to be doing the good damage against the tanks, and they don't die quite as quickly. But you definitely need a decent amount of Marines, just because that's the fastest way to take out those Hellions. And if Ganzi gets a good concave there, he might be able to have some good opportunities. He really needs to get that watchtower, though, because Ganzi doesn't know where the army is.
Right, and here are some meta... Oh, I thought he was going to move forward with those Vikings.
Oh, and they both scan on top of each other.
This is just a crazy dance here in the center of the map between these two armies.
Both players vying for position here, that's really what it's about when you're both so siege tank heavy. And now he's going to siege up, puts down 2-point defense drones, and it looks like all of the medevacs are going to go down. The siege tank's taking a lot of damage, but both players kind of in a stagnant position there, and now Hart going to drop the Vikings to clean these units up. Not a very cost-efficient way to do it, but he doesn't lose too many Vikings, and he did kill all of Ganzi's Vikings.
And we see here that the two siege tanks are trying to figure out if they can actually hit each other. We could just see him go land these Vikings. He is starting to repair them slowly.
Yeah, definitely. And, oh no, he unsieged. Look at Ganzi. He's going to get a very nice... Oh. Hart sieges back up? I'm not sure if Hart unsieged or maybe just Ganzi unsieged. But
I think he did unsiege for 1 second, but he saw the Marauders as soon as the Vikings went over, and Ganzi was able to save these 3 tanks with that small little diversion.
Yeah.
Very even match here still, supply-wise, 142 to 135, but when is the Viking count for Hart to that point where he could start adding in more... a Banshee or 2, or even going up to BCs? Has it hit that point yet? Or
BCs are more of a 3-base and on kind of thing, and they do take quite a long time to get to.
Right.
They take a lot of gas. In terms of the Banshee, usually you want to add 1. I'm actually a little surprised Hart doesn't, because then when you get in those sieged positions,
like we saw here,
a 1 Banshee there would have cleaned up all of those tanks, no problem.
Exactly. Exactly. So once again, like just a constant dance here in the center between these two players, and Hart did come out victorious. But right now, supply-wise, what is the SCV count of these two players? Okay, so kind of the supply lead right now for Ganzi is in the SCV count, but here goes Hart pushing up, and he has a lot more tanks than his opponent.
A little bit here. No point defense drone goes down, and actually Hart.
Oh, he just messed up, man. Too many Marauders.
Yeah.
Way too many 2-2 Marauders.
And that's basically the story of TVT Mech. You make one little mistake like that, you overextend yourself. Yeah, there's basically no way for Hart to hold this off. We take a look at his army right now. He's got 12 Vikings, 2 Siege Tanks, and 5 Hellions. He's going to have to land all of his Vikings, pull all of his SCVs, and that might give him enough to hold this off, but he's going to lose so much. Those Marauders doing just incredible damage, the Siege Tanks. Notice Ganzi still rallying to this battle, and I expect we'll see a GG from Hart in just a moment here.
Yeah, that was was he caught off guard by the amount of Marauders that were there? Was that a kind of a tech change?
I think it was more he just didn't expect the army to be in that position.
Gotcha.
And so much of it. So yeah, he definitely got caught off guard.
Yeah, and you know, the Siege Tank is such a unit that you can't really uncommit as easily as a lot of these other units, because as soon as you start sieging, it's like, well, I can't move. I just lost all that, and I probably lost the game because of it.
Yeah, so. Once that battle started, Hart really didn't have any options.
So yeah, a 3-0 there for Ganzi over his teammate Hart. Did you expect that? Or you?
No, definitely not. I kind of actually expected Hart to win.
Really? More competitive at least?
Yeah, at the very least take one game, and we just didn't see it. I feel like Hart was getting it back in the third game. He was really playing pretty well, but a little bit of missteps here and there, and he just was not able to capitalize.
Cool. Well, coming up next, it is going to be Huck going up against Violet, and Violet defeated MC earlier today. I'm not sure if it was 3-0 or 2-1, but he did end up winning that series. So Huck's going to have maybe a little bit of a problem here, as Violet's style is just so much more unorthodox than what he's maybe used to in Korea.
Yeah.
So that'll be coming up next right here on the stream, and I believe you're going to be stepping out, and Rob Simpson will be coming in. So guys, don't go anywhere. We got Huck, Violet coming up. The first map will be Daybreak. We'll see you in about a minute or two.